Welcome to today's Farm Life. I'm Doug Cunningham. You know, over the last few years, I've noticed a trend of consumers going straight to producers to buy their meat products. They want to know what's behind the label. So I thought I'd try to find out a little bit more about that trend. I come up here towards Chester, South Dakota, talked with Ryan and Brittany Schaefer about their family-run operation, and we got behind some of the ideas of that trend.
Well, we are a third-generation family farm. Dad has been farming most of his life. We run about 1,000 acres of farm ground and about 150 to 200 cow-calf deal.
I grew up in a ranching family in Nebraska, and we were really involved as kids, and so that's really important for us to instill that hard work in our kids. And so they help, you know, whether it's bedding the barn or helping sort cattle, or this morning Kason ran the four-wheeler through the cows this morning while I was getting ready for work, and before he went to school at 6:30 he came in and told us, hey, everything looks good, I ran through the cows. And you know, they all help, whether it's from Brindley offering a little babysitting for the little kids because we're busy pulling calves, or, you know, Kason, he opens all the gates when we're feeding, and if I get home from work and I'm a little bit lost on what Ryan's doing, all I have to do is find one of these guys and they know what's going on and what needs to be done. And no, I mean, it's great. We get to spend a lot of time with our kids, and it's fun to watch them grow and learn and teach them a little bit of hard work, and they enjoy it. I mean, it's just a great way to spend time together as a family while we're still being productive and being able to, you know, make a little money and show them just our way of life.
The trend of consumers wanting to buy direct from producers seems to be very strong and growing stronger every day. Ryan and Brittany had some great advice. In fact, Brittany, Ryan's wife, works in the medical field. She makes a great point.
There's really a drive right now, I feel like, for people to know where their food comes from, to know what's going into their food. Is it safe to be feeding their family? You know, is it full of carcinogens or other things that we probably shouldn't be consuming as Americans? And I think that's where they're coming direct from the farm. If it's something we're feeding our family, they've got confidence in us that it's something that's safe to feed their family and feed them. Working in healthcare, I definitely see that. I think people are starting to realize that just because it's mainstream marketed doesn't mean it's good for you. There's, you know, a lot of stuff that doesn't get labeled or gets tucked away on a label, and people are starting to realize that. And as research is starting to show, you know, there are some foods that are causing cancer, and you know, there's foods that are making Americans unhealthier than other people in Europe and other countries, and so people are just realizing that, and they're being more aware of what they're eating. And I do think we saw a little bit more with COVID. I think people, whether it was they had time at home to do a little bit of research about where things were really coming from. You know, there was also a shortage of supply of meat in the grocery store, and so people looked, where can I get more? And then they realized, hey, you know, these beef producers have a whole deep freeze full of meat. They're not at the grocery store looking for meat that's not on the shelf.
Now, I did ask Ryan and Brittany if I was a consumer looking to buy product from a producer direct, what would they expect of me, and what would be your best sales pitch?
Most people, they'll call me and say, interested in buying a beef. Is there anything I need to know? And I pretty much just tell them if they want to come out and look and see what we've got for quality of beef or whatever, they can sure do that. The biggest question that I get, I should say, is probably, what do I get when I order a beef? Do I get just T-bones? Do I get just roast? You know, nobody really knows exactly what they do get. And so all of our cattle is NHTC qualified through, is it Global International? So we're on that program. So all of our beef is certified through that company. So that's how we kind of guarantee to our customers is we put a button in their ear and we send their tag number to them, and that animal is tracked from birth all the way to the processor.
As that calf grows, every time we give it an antibiotic or it's treated, that's documented, and we turn that in, and we have to meet the qualifications of the program to be certified to be hormone-free. A lot of people will ask, you know, is your beef hormone-free? We get a lot of people, are you GMO-free? What kind of, you know, is it grass-fed, is it corn-fed? And so I guess, you know, a lot of things, yeah, our beef is grass-fed, it's corn-finished.
Yep.
They're getting some grass while they're being corn finished too.
Now, I did ask Ryan and Brittany if there are other producers that might want to get into selling their products straight to the consumer, what their thoughts were, and maybe some advice.
I do know if a producer wants to sell to a consumer or like a bar or stuff like that, you have to get the beef USDA certified, which all that entails is the inspector will come, stand over at the processor, like say Mitchell Locker where we go. They'll stand there, they'll watch the beef being cut, they'll inspect it. Once they're done, if it meets their regulations, they'll stamp it, and we can sell that meat to anybody. Biggest thing is if you got good quality beef, the beef will sell it itself. We got to thank Reppies for good genetics. That's where we buy all of our bulls, is Reppy Ranch up there in Condé. I got a lot of our success is from them.
Learning a little more about the popular trend of consumers buying direct from producers. The only thing that I would encourage, if you have questions, be sure and ask those questions. Remember, feel good about what you do today, because what you do today is very important. Until next time, for today's Farm Life, I'm Doug Cunningham.